Hello folks, you're back watching another interview with MMOBuff.TV. And some of you might have seen a little bit of this interview before, because this now is Gunz2 the Duel for the second time. But the interview, not the game. The game is the second time, but hey, that's not quite what we meant. But I have a Christian with us. Christian, good morning to you.
Hi, morning everybody.
And perhaps we could kick things off by explaining a little about yourself and what you do for PSG.
Well, I'm a product manager, so I'm basically the mate of Gunz2. Everybody at the company who needs something, be it marketing, the design guys, whoever, they come to me. I'm kind of like the evangelist of the game, and whatever they need, I give that to them. And on the other hand, I'm in close contact with the developers, Mayet from Korea. So if there's something that needs to be done on the game, I'm also in touch with the devs directly.
Oh, okay, I'm sure that keeps you pretty busy. So you've touched briefly on your role, but it's all about Gunz2 today. Perhaps you could tell us a little more about the game and the history. Some people know about it, it's got quite a core following, but perhaps some others don't.
Well, obviously, Gunz2 is a sequel to a game that's almost 10 years old by now. The original Gunz was released back in 2004. And basically, it's just a straight-out third-person shooter. It's a really fast-paced game. Basically, you just hop in, shoot stuff. It really brings back these old memories. Stuff that I find is lacking from a lot of games these days is just this fast-paced, straight-in-your-face action gameplay. Which personally I really enjoy. And for Gunz2, the developers are picking up a lot of stuff that made the original game really popular and improve it. Like you can run around or alongside walls, so basically the environment is part of the whole action and the movement. That gives it a really nice twist there.
Okay, so in my part, that fast-paced element often leads to hop in and get shot as an alternative. So, Christian, one of the terms that's associated with the original game is K-style. And some people will know what that means. To others, well, it's someone stuck a letter in front of a word. Perhaps you'd care to elaborate.
Well, originally K-style is actually, well, yeah, you might call it bug abusing, basically. In the original Gunz, there was a bug that would let you cancel certain movements and add other movements that you weren't supposed to link together. And that had the result of people, for once, trying to find out weird button combinations and twisting and twirling their fingers to find out that kind of stuff. And as a result, they were able to, run alongside walls or float through the air doing this and then calling it the butterfly move. And the funny thing is that actually some of these moves gave depth to the original gameplay.
Yep.
So what the developers did is they're taking some of these movements, like running alongside walls, as I said, and putting these in the actual gameplay, but leaving out the entire bug abuse.
Okay.
So that will hopefully improve everything.
And it'll hopefully have the effect of allowing for a huge differentiation in skill, but perhaps not having that barrier to entry that the game might be known of to some people. So it is something we can dive in and have a go at, folks. But a history test. Because oh dear, it's the word test. So, I believe in the past, K-style and the other bugs to do with interrupting and blocking moves was actually fixed, quote-unquote, in a patch. And if I put a community hat on, something interesting happened there once the fix was implemented. Again, you can pick up the story.
Yeah, actually, yes, there was a bug fix. I actually talked to the developers about just that. And they said this bug fix would take them weeks and even months to program. And once they applied it, I think a quote that the developer gave me was that the community was really pissed off because they've gotten so used to the whole K-style gameplay that they were enraged about the lack of it all of a sudden. So the developer was forced to, to basically do a rollback and get the whole bug back in. But yeah, for Gunz2, since we're starting with a bug-free game, hopefully this situation won't come back up again.
So possibly one of the first ever examples of emergent gameplay to pick up on a current trend and theme. You heard it here first, folks. So let's move on from that one. Let's talk a little about who is the game for. What's the target audience of the game?
if you've ever played, a shooter game, then this game is basically for you. It's really easy to get into. As you mentioned, it's not joining the game and being destroyed because the gameplay is so complicated with K-Style. It's really just easy jump-in gameplay. So if you've played like Quake or Unreal, stuff like that, this is a game that you will most likely enjoy.
Okay, so the game is coming over from Mayot. So what challenges do PSG face in getting that game over here? Is it just language and translations, or is there perhaps a little more to it to get it out to a European audience?
Well, language and translation is, of course, one of the most important things. We have our own localization guy here who's in touch with several agencies, really trying to get the best out of the localization. Even if it's just a shooter game. So, there's no deep storyline, I'll give you that. But, then there's a lot of stuff like the whole marketing. I mean, Gunz was obviously a big cult hit, so to say.
Yeah.
But, that means there's a certain hardcore fan group that knows of the game. But, it's not a title that's widespread. So, getting the word out is probably the biggest challenge right now.
Okay. And what's the reaction been of the existing player base? Because that fan base that you have for the first game is a pretty intense fan base with strong opinions.
Actually, we're really positively surprised because at first when we announced the game, there was obviously a lot of feedback from players claiming that, K-Style is missing, you're completely denying the roots of the game, this is not Gunz anymore. But we were actually at Gamescom as well, and a lot of these players were at the booth to try out the game. And when they played it, they were like, okay, you know what, this really is different from the original game, but this is actually fun, this is awesome, can I play another round? So the game does have a different approach, but it's really picked up well.
Okay. And you've got individual players, and that's great, but if you're harking back to the Quakes and the other classic shooters with this release, what support are you going to have for clans, groups, ladders, competitive play, and in a minute I'll throw in the dreaded word esports?
There's actually a lot of stuff going on, but let me quickly, Mike, can you please, yeah. I have our community guy, Mike, he's in charge of the whole esports and community stuff, so
Hi.
Hello. We have a Mike joining a Christian.
There we go. Esports stuff.
Hi.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So we're planning lots of stuff in the area of esports at the moment. Have lots of cool partners we're talking to for that, but can't really tell you anything yet.
Oh.
He's a tease.
Can't you mention who you were at Gamescom with?
Well, yeah. There is this fine company called Turtle Entertainment. Some of you might better know them under the name of ESL, and they're running quite a lot of tournaments for mostly every competitive game. And yeah, so they were a partner for a booth, and we really liked those guys. They liked us, I heard, and we might.
Thank God.
Watch this space.
And also, we're. Can we tell that with the French thing?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We're also going to be at Paris Games Week with the ESL. So if there's any French guys who want to check out Gunz2, come to Gamescom. And yeah, so ESL is a big partner. You might have checked out our Facebook. We work together with Razer already, giving out beta keys. And both big names in the area of esports, I figure, and looking out for things to come there.
So certainly there's a plan to actually allow sort of community structures and people to be competitive in the esports world and give a real focus to the ongoing gameplay within the game. Let's do a quick flip of topics before we bounce back again. Business model. Now, no one likes to talk about paying for a game. Everyone wants to talk about playing the game. Whatever you do with the business model, I assure you it is wrong in the eyes of most people before you start. But of course, you have to make money. You guys have to actually turn a profit to keep going. It's the law of the world, so to speak. What's your business model look like, and how are you looking to fund the game and its development?
Well, yeah, the dreaded pay-to-win discussion. which will not be the case in Gunz2. Luckily, the developers are taking a lot of hints from games that have become really popular, without the whole pay-to-win model, like League of Legends, World of Tanks. Games like those that are really honest, that offer you everything in the game for playing. But if you want a time saver, then you can just pay for it. And this is basically what Gunz2 also does. Everything, all the items, all the weapons in the shop, they are available for both in-game currency as well as cash currency. And what you have to do is, we have an achievement system in the game, and you unlock certain weapons in the shop for reaching these achievements. But if you don't want to spend the time, if you just straight away want a good weapon, you can just spend some cash for it. So I think this is a really honest way of monetizing a free-to-play game, because it is actually really just a time saver. So if you're a hardcore player and you say, hey, I want to unlock everything, you can do that.
Awesome. And I believe when you acquire the weapons in-game, they're actually rented?
Yeah, they are, but they will not be lost, because once these weapons run out, you can disassemble them into their single pieces. You will get new equipment from that, or, well, not equipment, but you will get resources that then again you use in the crafting system, and from the crafting system you can get all the rare weapons. The thing is, you get these diamonds not just from cash weapons, but again also from in-game currency weapons. So even the rare stuff is available for the regular player who doesn't want to spend any money.
Okay, good to know. Another quick bounce of topics. Servers. Now, there's a few conversations about how servers and players talk to each other, and indeed where things might or might not be situated. Perhaps you can pick up on that topic and see if you can fill in the blanks for people.
Yeah, you're really going through the touchy subjects.
Oh, sorry.
No, but yeah, obviously, the community have given us a lot of feedback from the closed betas that we had, and one of the big topics was a certain lag issue, which is due to the whole server structure and whole system. So currently, that's why we're not in any closed beta or open beta service, because we really want to get this right. We want to get this straight. We actually had a lot of phone conversations with the developer these past few days about what we can do here, and they're already working on a fix for that. They're working on improving and optimizing the whole host system. So we will definitely have some improvement there. We're thinking maybe in mid or late November, hopefully we have some results. There will definitely be a third closed beta phase where we really want to test if this is working out. And if it hopefully is, then we're set for the open beta by the end of this year. But, I mean, I'd love to talk more about it. The thing is, I'm a total idiot when it comes to technical stuff, so I just want them to improve it. I don't want to understand what they do. I just want it to work, and this is what they're working on. I don't understand.
And it's the same for the players. We just want to jump in, play, and either kill things or get killed, depending on personal predilections. But it's great to see at the end of the day, that's what you have betas, closed betas, open betas for. They need to be more than marketing exercises, and if I put my MMOBuff hat on, it's great to see a beta actually used for the right purpose. So that's great to see. Let's jump back to community. We've touched on esports. But how about what players can actually do in terms of social groups? Is there any news on that front? Things like clans and rankings, all the sorts of things people might be hoping for.
Well, first of all, we already have clans in the game, so you can found your own clan, invite friends, new players, good players even, and hopefully win with them. And we also have a big section of the forum. It's one of the most populated ones where people can post in the forum, say, this is my clan, join it. This is our clan website, or you can looking for clan. And as I said, it's really, really populated. We have 30 or 40 clans looking there already. So clans is a big thing. And he might know even more that's coming in the future, in the game, but already outside of the game, clans are forming up really, really big time.
I was wondering, we already have 40 clans, even if we're just in closed beta?
Yeah.
It's nice. I actually didn't know that.
He doesn't know.
No, I do. I mean, the thing is, right now, the clan system in the game is actually, it's not completely fleshed out. It's a really basic system where you can found a clan, invite people, and that's basically it. But obviously, as we just talked about, before we can talk about professional clans that are battling each other in tournaments, there need to be the precautions for them to actually do that in a safe and sound environment. So the clan systems in the game will definitely be improved and enhanced. But for now, I guess it's your job to entertain them on the forums.
No problem. Well, let's just talk about that community outreach side of things. I've noticed by keeping my eye on the social media streams, there is in fact the Gunz podcast, and I've seen yourselves on there. What are your plans on an ongoing basis to talk to the players, the community, and how are you going to act as that sort of communication hub, hopefully back to the developers?
So the GunZcast was basically created to have us more in touch with the communities, to be more approachable, for people to reach out to us, to give the game a face, and I think that worked really well. So people know who to blame when stuff goes wrong. It's him.
You're part of it too.
No, but it's really good. We always have this stupid line like, send us your feedback, and we really get feedback. It's not like a line we just tell people. We really get emails, we get comments, Facebook, on YouTube, and we really read all of them. And the good ones we really take to Mayet, we forward those, and lots of things we really had discussions with them about, yeah, that's a good idea, let's really keep track on that and improve the game. So and that's our vision of community work, more or less, to have an open ear and also a big mouth. The podcast is the mouth, and after that we open our ears, and it looks great this far.
I mean, that's originally how we got all the feedback about, for example, the whole host system and lag issue. So that was where people were really approaching us and sending us all that feedback. So actually, the GunZcast has really helped improve the whole community interaction, because people are replying so much that we're getting actually so many responses with wishes about new features that it's actually too much to handle by now.
Sorry, my mailbox is still full. I'm gonna get back to you.
Awesome. Well, we'll have one other question came to light, particularly with esports, and then perhaps we'll look at a couple of community questions. The question that I've had people put to us and to others, how does someone go in Gunz or in any other game with your past histories from, hey, I'm really good at this game, to hey, I want to be a pro player, I want to make a living out of this game, I want to shoot people in the face all day and get paid for it.
Make money with that.
How would someone, what's the dream? How does someone go from I'm a player to I'm in that position?
I think that's your territory here.
Yeah. Esports. So basically, everybody who wants to be a pro gamer, first of all, I would tell them, hold your horses, step back and think about that decision, because there's not that many people that really can live good off that. There's a few games you might have heard where people win millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and those guys are the best of the best of the best. And there's millions of other people that didn't make a buck in that game yet. So first of all, take one step at a time if you want to be a pro player. Like we already talked about clans. Found a clan, become part of a clan, get competitive, join tournaments. We were working on that to have a competitive scene, and so you will be able to play on a regular basis. Win those tournaments and take it from there. Win those tournaments, maybe contact a sponsor, maybe a sponsor contacts you. And after that, one step at a time. Don't quit your job, don't skip school because you want to be a pro player. That doesn't work most of the times. So one step at a time, and we're building those steps in Gunz. We're working on that. And yeah, there's going to be announcements about first steps, how you can be a pro player in Gunz2 in the future. But for now, just play the game, get better at it, and eventually something might work out for you.
Awesome. I mean, the answer I've given to people before on that question is, when you see the household names in the game and you're beating them week in, week out, then maybe you can think about it.
Exactly.
So let's pop down to a couple of quick community questions. The first one, streaming. Now, we know that you guys have been quite friendly in terms of ethos towards streaming, which is fantastic to see. But with some of the anti-cheat, anti-hack tech in the game, that's not quite so friendly to streamers. I think you guys, you're nodding, you're aware of this one. Are there plans to resolve this going forwards?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, so far there is the option to record the gameplay material straight out from the game, and then you can upload that to YouTube and wherever. But we understand, of course, that a lot of people actually want to stream their stuff to Twitch as live gameplay. But as safety first, the whole anti-hacking is, of course, as important as a clean server structure. So we'd rather be, extra cautious about the whole anti-hacking, and once that is straightened out, we definitely want to improve about the whole streaming functionalities. Of course, we want people to stream the game without having the client crash all the time. But for now, anti-hacking and keeping the cheaters and hackers out, I really think that is more important than having live streams. Which doesn't mean that live streams aren't important. Obviously they are, as you just talked about the whole esports scene. But definitely something we're going to look into. But again, I'm an idiot when it comes to technical stuff. I don't yet know how, but we will definitely look into it.
The takeaway is beta, but it is on the radar.
Exactly.
Another one, blood. Not a word I get to use very often in interviews. But some people are saying it's the wrong colour. Now, I think there's possibly a little bit of history here with some games with an Asian influence getting around perhaps some regulations by showing blood that is black or white and possibly not red. But we Europeans, we don't need to do that. Can we have a toggle switch?
Well, actually, there was a really old version that had all the red blood in it. But actually, by now, every version has that color. So it's not censored for the European or even German market, because as most people will know, the German market is somewhat touchy when it comes to violence in video games. But that wasn't our decision there. That is actually a design decision from the developers. But we're actually looking into how we can, improve the game with some fan service, having, as you said, a toggle switch in the option menu. We're also looking into offering English voiceover as well as the original Korean voiceover. So maybe this is something that we can also, take over for certain in-game effects.
Fabulous. Well, I think we've run the gamut. So I'd say to you now, two things really. If people want to know more about the game, where can they go? What they can do? And what's the takeaway message you want to leave people with in conjunction with Gunz?
It's spread that I do where to find us, and you do the message. Okay. So we have a Facebook site. It's facebook.com/Gunz2Europe. Then we have Gunz2.eu, which is our website where you can register, create an account, download the game, and join the forums. I'll greet you there. And we also have a Twitter account, Gunz2EU. Follow that. And we also have a YouTube channel, Gunz2, I think EU or Europe. You can subscribe to that and watch the awesome podcast, the Gunzcast. And I think now it's time for you.
Well, what he said basically. Visit the website, register for the game, download the game. You can download it already. As we're in the closed beta break, fixing all the stuff there, you cannot play right now. But if you join us, we always send out keys and stuff like that. So there will be a third closed beta and hopefully very soon an open beta. So yeah, key message is really we just want people to enjoy the game, to play a couple of matches with us. As I said, it's good, clean, old school shooter fun. So if that's something you've been missing these past few years in the gaming area, then definitely give the game a chance. Join us. Come to the dark side.
So there we go, guys. They might or might not have cookies. But these are the guys from Gunz2, the Duel. So keep an eye on MMOBuff. Keep an eye on all the lovely links they've just given us, which we will put below the video and on the site for your clicking pleasure. And with all of that information in the bag, this is Mizpah with MMOBuff.TV, signing off.